Like, guys, with all due respect, I don't give a shit about people that have like 100 viewers and their bad takes on the genocide war. Like, please stop elevating them to my level by even bringing them up. Okay? Like, you have to be at least this tall to ride as far as your opinions being addressed by me. He doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. He doesn't have clout, and he doesn't have influence. He doesn't have position. He doesn't have knowledge. His opinion is ignorable. Now, if somebody has more viewers than me and they're doing more damage, I'd love to debate that shit so that we can correct it and hopefully rescue some of the people. But somebody with 100 viewers, come on. You're platforming someone just because they're stupid. You are promoting stupidity. That's the biggest problem I had with Hasan's debate, which we're going to watch next. Why the fuck would you platform a nobody? You're going to elevate him because it's not that viewers on Hasan's stream are going to go watch that guy, but everybody who hates Hasan is going to hug box that guy. Stop letting Hasan haters hug box each other into clout and relevance.
Attacks. So this, with the technology we're seeing today and this kind of real-time war being played out, it is easier now more than ever, actually, to make the case and have a documented evidence of that measure of intent. But it's extremely difficult. And finally, just quickly to note on which court it will be tried in. We know that the primary court is the ICC, but Israel is not a signatures out, nor is the US. So, and what we're seeing now with the extremely powerful actors on the political scene.
We're just seeing babies dying. That's what's on the screen right now. I can't show you, unfortunately. There is a pile of dead babies or dying babies. Like at least 30.
I would be very pessimistic and state that actually getting the Israeli government to actually stand before a tribunal, the court, will be extremely difficult. That's something I don't like saying, but from my analysis, I think this is the case.
Jennifer, thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you for your insights. Jennifer Cassidy is a diplomatic scholar and lecturer in international politics.
There's only so much of this shit you can see, man.
Thank you very much for your time.
Disgusting. All right, we're not going to watch this whole thing. I just want to take a quick look about these disgusting rats, because it's from time to time Hasan will talk or review some of this shit, and that's what I think it's best time for me to talk about it. I'm never going to be the person who platforms these assholes and gives them clout and gives them relevance in our space. But when somebody else who's bigger than me already does, it can be sometimes useful for me to come out and make my position on these people known, in case any of you accidentally watch some of these fucking idiots. All right, I'll be right back. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but just until I become so annoyed and we can laugh at him a little bit.
Wait, I'm sorry. You fucking brainlet. Give me what the fucking inconsistency was. You made the video. You made the video. Give me the inconsistency or what you consider to be false information. Are you having a hard time without a script or without people fucking feeding you clips that you can post?
I'm pretty good, bro. Nobody's touched me anything.
Dude,
I got all the clips.
You're killing it, dog. Come on, go ahead. What's the second point? What is the lie that I told about Ukraine?
It's not a lie. It's just
note, here is the WillyMacShow. What's up, WillyMacShow?
Hey, what's up, Hasan?
Not much. So I am not very familiar with what you do, but I believe you've done a couple videos about how dog shit I am, I think, right? You want to turn on your camera, by the way?
I mean, I'm recording. I don't think I can at the same time.
Okay. All right. Well, that's unfortunate, but all right. So you
did you watch the videos?
No, of course not. I have a policy of not really watching videos such as that one, specifically because it will frustrate me, and then I will have to
You want to debate about
it.
a video you didn't even watch?
Why? Yeah, of course. You made the video. I'm not like debating a random person about a video I didn't watch. You made the fucking video, so let's hear.
I know, but
what
that
your
kind of like
gripes
that kind of
are.
links up to like my big criticism with you, is that you don't actually put in the bare minimum effort to research anything before you jump to conclusions. That's why your tweet when you're like, "Hey, I want to debate Willie."
Do you really consider me watching a fucking dumbass YouTube video from a drama farming channel to be doing research? I don't need to do research
this is what you're
on a
talking
video.
About. You're going into a topic you don't know anything about.
Brother, just give me what you want to say. Give me what you want to say. The video's about me, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
sure.
talk to me about what the fucking points of the video are, and let's discuss it. The fuck do you mean?
My main criticism.
Why would I have to research a video about myself? Like, oh man, I can't believe
I have to
watch.
I have no doubt you didn't.
I have to watch a fucking dumbass talk shit for 25 minutes and jerk off like all the fucking talking points that I've heard about myself over and over again. Mm-hmm. Incredibly stupid. Give me the fucking takes and we'll talk about it. Okay, go on.
Yeah. My take is that you have a pattern of behavior where breaking news happens. You jump to wild conclusions, talking way too confidently.
Okay, give me an example.
Who disagrees with
example.
You.
Give me an example.
All right,
are you going to talk about?
Okay. There was reports that Ukraine was going to be invaded by Russia. You confidently said no, it wasn't, despite all the reports. Then Russia invades, and then instead of apologizing and correcting the story, you then
I didn't apologize and correct the story.
You justify the invasion.
Wait,
right?
I didn't apologize and correct the story.
Let me finish my.
Wait, hold on.
No,
this is important.
This is the pattern of behavior.
Because you said you. Wait. Hold on. You're the one who doesn't do his research because I did apologize and I did correct the record. You just didn't fucking see it.
You kind of walked it back too.
Wait, no. I very clearly apologized for it. You didn't see that because all you do is look at fucking clips.
It's in the video. It's in one of my videos.
So why did you just now bring it up as though I've never apologized?
Oh, this is so like Hasan. And then the worst part is when people call you out.
Why did you just bring that up as I never apologized?
It's all out of context.
Why did you just say I never apologized for it when I did?
Right? You claim that's all out of context.
Why did you say I never apologized? Why did you just say I never apologized?
Justify more. You then make more outrageous claims.
I'm sorry. Why did you say I never apologized if I did and you just repeated after I said no, I did apologize. You moved the goalpost. You moved the goalpost and you tried to fucking act like I was just backtracking.
I didn't move the goalpost, dude. This is exactly my criticism.
You did. Stop saying this is exactly my criticism. Okay, but then your criticism is fucking stupid.
Your apology is in there.
Okay,
you just didn't watch it, so you're just making shit up right now. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm going off of what you're saying.
Because you didn't watch the video, because you don't research anything, which is the whole criticism.
Why would I watch a fucking stupid video that you made when I'm talking to you? Because the video is about me. You said with your words that I didn't actually apologize.
You're saying I said with your words that I did. Is this what you're going to talk over me when I'm giving you the answer?
No.
I'm giving you a very straightforward answer. I did do that.
Okay.
I did cover your apology.
So you said I did apologize, but it wasn't good enough for you. Is that what you're saying?
And I showed you apologizing for making your completely, fairly baseless claims, jumping to conclusions, and then you followed that up by making more baseless claims, jumping to conclusions.
Okay. Go on. What are the baseless claims that I made that I jumped to conclusions on, even though you originally said I said that Russia would never invade Ukraine, which is true. I did say that because I did think that it would be an unimaginably stupid decision for Russia, okay, which I claimed would be impossible to occupy Ukraine, a country with 44 million people whose entire national independence movement has revolved around literally trying to escape from Russia for the most part, regardless of the Russian-speaking population in the Eastern Front, okay? Having said that, however,
this has nothing to do with what I said, though. This is all just random nonsense.
Yeah, because you're a fucking scumlord drama farmer. Of course it doesn't have anything to do with anything. Because the specifics don't matter to you.
The specifics do matter.
Well, if they do, then when I describe...
All right, here, I got another one. Let's do this one, too.
There's an entire YouTube video called I Was Wrong About Ukraine. There's literally...
in that same video, you make more claims about
Like what?
If I remember, I mean, this is a year ago.
No, go ahead.
Video.
Go ahead.
I'm guessing
Like what?
you didn't watch that either.
Like what? Of course I didn't watch it.
So
why would I watch a fucking drama farmer who has no understanding of geopolitical conflict?
You're the one who asked for this debate, and now you're all confused and butthurt that you're getting fucked up in it. Like, I don't know what to do.
I'm sorry. You fucking brainlet. Give me what the fucking inconsistency was. You made the video. You made the video. Give me the inconsistency or what you consider to be false information. Are you having a hard time without a script or without people fucking feeding you clips that you can post?
Pretty good, bro. Nobody's fed me anything.
Dude,
I
you're
got
killing
all the clips.
You're killing it, dog. Come on, go ahead. What's the second point? What is the lie that I told about Ukraine?
It's not a lie. It's just you made more claims. You made more basic.
Like what?
Claims.
What is the claim?
I gotta go pull it up in the video because you didn't.
You didn't prepare for your own fucking. You didn't prepare where you were literally coming on here to talk about not Israel Palestine, mind you, but about Ukraine, and you didn't even fucking prepare with talking points.
I'll talk
really?
to you about Israel Palestine. That'll be the next point. It's you doing the same thing again. Well, dude, how do you impromptu ask me to a debate this minute? If I had a day to prepare, I would have everything, but you didn't. You just completely you blew this whole
thing up. It's your video about me. These should be so simple for you to be like, this is where you lied. Just say it. We already established that the first thing you did was wrong.
All right, you got to give me a minute.
Okay. Are you trying to link me your video? I'm not going to watch your video. Just say it with your mouth, with your words. Go ahead.
I have to watch my video to see what my receipt is because this is a year old. Right? I didn't know I didn't know where
you don't even know your own video. You don't know the contents of your own fucking video.
All right, so this is all you need to know about how this actually operates right here, which is the entire point of making this video. I'm gonna lift the veil for all of you, show you how the sausage is made, so to speak. Hasan has a lot of viewers, haters, and lovers. Willy No Show or Willy No Video or Willy No Evidence is desperate to engage with the hater side of the coin because it's easier. Because there is a large content creator, Destiny, who is obsessed with platforming any attacks on Hasan, no matter where they're from. That's it. No matter whether there is veracity to them or not. The point that Destiny only has one goal: destroy Hasan. It has no ideological basis. It's interpersonal obsession. He's a freak. So it doesn't matter what the argument is or what the ideological reality is or anything else like that. It is Destiny platforming people attacking Hasan. So if you want to have a career on YouTube and you have no qualifications or knowledge or anything, an easy way to maybe get some views is to put together a video attacking Hasan and tailing him around and looking for retweets. That's it. Every one of the arguments in this debate are verbatim what you read if you spend 5 minutes on a Destiny subreddit. Here's the other thing. I'm going to say it right off the bat so no one's confused. When you cover news and politics and you mix analysis with predictions, there's always going to be some amount of error. Even if all you do is read the most conservative, vetted corporate media, they make mistakes all the time. Every newspaper has a correction section, and almost every day they've got at least one. Corrections are constant. What separates a good journalist from a bad journalist, what separates a hack from somebody who's honest, what separates me and Hasan from somebody like Destiny, is we admit our error and we explain why it happened. It's impossible to be error-free. You're a human being. There's never been a human being on Earth who's error-free. Doesn't matter how careful you are. And sometimes when breaking news happens, you can get ahead of your skis. You can draw conclusions. You can rely on evidence being presented to you that turns out to be wrong. And then later you correct it. It's not very complicated. It's not very hard. As long as you're not going out there and intentionally lying, then this is not that big a deal. Wait, there are people who are unironically that it's impermissible to be wrong sometimes. Basically, the debate bro aesthetic is never admit you're wrong. And for children who and people with incredibly small brains, anybody who watches Destiny, basically, they think that that is some sort of possibility. Now, if you go to college or you go to grad school or you go to an academic setting where you actually complete the course, you learn a lot about contingency, you learn about error, you learn about the process of scholarship, you learn about revision, you learn about just how to think, how to perceive, how to form conclusions, and when to correct and alter those conclusions. But on Debate Pervert, if you admit you're wrong, that's a talking point to use against you. How long ago is the Hasan was wrong about Ukraine? Over a year now. Hasan corrected himself over a year ago. So why would you bring this up? Hasan predicted, I don't think Russia's ever going to invade Ukraine. And here's the reasons why. And every single one of those reasons bore out to be true, but Russia disregarded that analysis and invaded anyway. And everything that he predicted would be bad for Russia happened. It was bad for Russia. And it wasn't his conclusion. It was the conclusion of criminologists, of experts who analyzed the situation. Basically, only the United States thought that Russia was going to invade Ukraine. The German chancellor didn't. The French president didn't. The Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, didn't. It's not complicated for many people to think, oh, it's not going to happen. It, in fact, did happen, which should be a moment of humility that sometimes people and nations do irrational shit. All right? And when Russia invaded, Hasan didn't say Russia's not invading. Hasan said Russia's invading. My analysis was not correct as to what their actions would be, because they have a different calculation. And it turns out that the Russian decision makers, if they had Hasan as president, would have been better off than having Putin as president, because invading Ukraine was terrible for Russia. So when somebody goes, oh, you know what people attack me for? Believing that Bernie was the front runner after he won Nevada and that he was the most likely candidate to win the primary. That is the evidence they have that I get things wrong 4 years ago. Which, by the way, chat, was the consensus opinion of everyone, including 538, who, believe this or not, after Bernie won Nevada, 538 predicted that Bernie would win 49 states in the Democratic primary. Now, is Nate Silver a dumbass? Yes, I've been calling him Nate Bronze for a decade now. But I don't think it was wrong to think Bernie Sanders is a front runner. And then what happened, chat? An unprecedented coalition around Joe Biden. While Elizabeth Warren, the other progressive candidate, stayed in the race to split that vote. Nobody saw that coming until it happened, because it had never happened before. So what did we learn? We learned, don't think that just because of the past, the party rallied around the front runner when they proved themselves to be the most electable candidate. Don't think that's going to happen to the left. I foolishly thought that it would. That was wrong. I mean, although I didn't really think that was going to happen. I always thought they were going to try to steal the election at the convention. But you get my point. So why am I bringing up these 5-year-old takes? Because we are so good at this, we rarely say things that are so wrong or condescending or arrogant that people can bring up. They have to bring up things that are years old that we immediately corrected when things change. When Bernie Sanders didn't do that well on Super Tuesday, you know what I came out and said? I said right away, he's going to lose. I didn't go down with the ship and pretend I was never wrong. I came out and said, this is why I was wrong. This unprecedented thing happened. This is what we can learn from it. That's the difference between me, Hasan, and these debate perverts. They don't have a dog in the hunt. They don't have a horse in this race. They don't give a shit about politics. They don't care about what is right, what is wrong. They care about getting your attention because that's the only thing that matters to them. They don't have any qualifications. They can't make money in any other way. They're losers. So that's why even talking to this guy is a mistake, because why? It's not that Hasan viewers are going to suddenly realize Hasan's wrong about things and go subscribe to this guy. It's that the desperate, parasocially obsessed freak Destiny will boost WillyMacShow. That's it. That was the gambit that WillyMacShow was playing, and it's going to pay off for him. But the problem with WillyMacShow is he doesn't have any talent. So fundamentally, he's not going to be a successful creator. I mean, how many people could come after Hasan and just lose viewership? There's a reason why people like Hasan have 30,000 viewers and I have 3,500, and people that orbit Destiny have 100 viewers and never grow. I mean, it is what it is, but it's the truth.
I made it a year ago, bro.
You think you're doing a good job right now? Do you think you're doing a good job right now defending your position? Like, it's such a profound position.
You're doing exactly
it's such a profound position that you don't even fucking remember your own talking points. Oh my lord!
Dude, I'm trying to find your talking point.
I'm trying to find
your talking point.
I know my talking points that you claim are wrong should be, in the chamber for you to fire off. You came on here because you thought, let's have a conversation about these fucking videos that I've made.
Do instantly right now, right when I was out.
Stop complaining. Give me the talking points. Come on.
No, look at him shift the goalpost around.
Stop complaining. Tell me.
Somebody told him shift the goalpost. He has no idea what that means. He shifted the goalpost. He said, Hasan, you make conclusions and then that's irresponsible. That's bad. And then what happens? When Hasan's conclusions are wrong, he comes forward, he apologizes, and he admits it. That's not shifting the goalpost. That's him directly refuting your point. That's what shifting the goalpost is. Shifting the goalpost is when you say he never corrects himself, and then you say 5 minutes later that he did correct himself, but it's still bad because he made other conclusions. And then when Hasan says, okay, what were those other conclusions? You don't have an answer.
What it was. Stop bitching. Tell me what it fucking was. You started the conversation by talking about Ukraine. Why did you bring up Ukraine if you weren't fucking ready to talk about it? Your first point that you brought up was that I never apologized for it. I debunked it within fucking seconds.
Listed out and all the receipts right here, but you said get on now. WillyMacShow.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, WillyMacShow. Come on. What's the second talking point?
He's WillyMacShow because he hasn't got any evidence. When Willy is asked to show and tell, he can't do either. Hasan does sometimes get overconfident on predictions. Literally everybody does. Have you seen MSNBC? They get things wrong every fucking day. What are you talking about? Everyone occasionally gets things wrong because none of us are divination wizards. We don't get to see the entire future. People are going to offer a prediction with 14 layers of preamble. Well, that's what these debate bros really see. Whenever we're talking about the future, it's obviously contingent. Like if I say Joe Biden is going to win the 2024 election, but tomorrow a meteor hits the fucking earth, was my prediction wrong? Yes. But why it's wrong was unforeseeable by anyone. Does that mean that I'm a bad predictor? Like, this is why the future is unknown. Like, Jesus, I mean, this only needs to be said if you have the IQ of a gnat.
here while I'm pulling up the receipt.
Willie No Show, give me the second talking point. If you're not this fucking passionate about the subject, then you're basically admitting that you're a fucking bottom-feeding drama farmer who has no interest in...
Like, you're just going to look retarded because I'm going to pull it up in my... when I make...
Oh, he dropped the R slur, chat. He dropped the R slur. Why did you just drop the N-bomb, Willie No Show? Like, show us, say it with your whole chest, you coward. And the reason why these debate perverts use the R slur instead of other slurs is because they know just how marginalized and powerless disabled people are. So they can punch down on them. And no one's gonna, you know, put them lights out like many kick streamers have been put lights out for using racial slurs on their streams.
Okay, then pull it up. Then pull it up. Stop fucking complaining about it after the fact. Go ahead. I'm here. All right now. If you are genuinely interested in truth and research or whatever, you have this wonderful opportunity. You have this wonderful opportunity to ask me personally.
To pull it up. I'm trying to listen, but I'm hearing you twice. Once from my video and once from you just bitching in my ear.
Oh my god.
So you gotta wait. Yeah, that's how research
This is the greatest. This is the greatest brain power we got, folks.
Comrade Lamb found him using the N-word in a tweet during BLM. Wow, typical Destiny supporter, a anti-black racist. What a surprise. I'm going to give you an hour timeout for saying you used the R slur. I mean, guys, like, this is the type of person who uses the R slur. With all due respect, look at this guy's user card. Look at his avatar. Come on, man. Come on, man. You think you're Rick? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. Does Rick even use the R slur? I don't even remember if that in the entire runtime of Rick and Morty, has Rick used the R slur? I don't think so. Maybe he did. He did? Oh, God. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. He did in season 1. Okay, that was like 10 years ago. Even Rick has gotten woker than this. Fucking dipshit.
You want me to just move on from this?
All right, I'm muting myself. I'm muting myself. Go ahead, watch your video, and then you can come back, okay? Holy moly, dude. Jesus, Lord mercy. I muted myself. He can't hear me, so we can find his own talking points in his own fucking videos. Jesus Christ, dude.
I didn't even get to any of my moderator questions.
I know. Every time Felix is here, we got to do a fucking... We have to have the conversations like this. It just has to happen. I love that he's like, I don't remember my talking points. I have to watch my own YouTube video.
Well, I was going to suggest, like, a new topic. I was going to like, you know, if you don't want to watch the video, like, Wall talking to him, and he doesn't have the Google Doc. I was actually going to ask a series of questions about Amy Schumer.
Oh, no, Amy Schumer. We can't do that.
My questions are fine. They're like, no one in the world would think they're bad. They're not. All
right,
bad.
I got it.
All right, he's got it. All right, let's hear it.
I got it.
All right. Thank you, Willie Mac No Show.
Was you said people? You said let me watch this one more time.
I think that if somebody is talking about politics for 8 hours a day, 6-7 days a week, for 5 years, And you have to you try to pull out 3 times where they were not totally they got ahead of themselves. Actually, that is a huge sign that that person is reliable as fuck, and you should be watching them. Like, do I mean, I haven't watched Destiny in years because I have self-respect. But when I did watch him, he was the worst. He was the worst at political analysis I've ever seen. I don't think there is a single issue that I can recall that he has actually stuck to his guns on for more than 6 months. He's a dumbass. Like, remember when Destiny jumped to conclusions about Pokimane and the whole Fedster shit, whatever that guy's name was, and he made isn't that his biggest video, the incel bait video, attacking Pokimane, and it turned out she was right the whole time. Remember when he jumped to conclusions on that? Is WillyMacShow gonna make a video about how Destiny took advantage of incel and anti-feminist hate to build his channel on YouTube? Nah? Did that video get deleted? Like, what is it? Debate him, Mike, if you're so confident. There's 7 or 8 debates on my YouTube channel with Destiny. He looks like a fucking idiot in every single one. At one point, he argued with me that it doesn't matter who's president because the EPA will not be affected by the administrator, who is the most senior member of the EPA and is appointed by the president. Feel free to go look up that. It's the secret debate. Go ahead and look that. He never even published it on his YouTube channel because he got so humiliated by me. He's fucking stupid. He also screamed at me that rich people do not borrow against their financial assets for consumption. Which, buy, borrow, die is one of the primary ways that billionaires avoid paying taxes. Everyone who has spent 5 minutes in tax law knows about it. He's a fucking moron. And he actually screamed at the top of his lungs over me when I tried to explain it. Kept interrupting me every 10 seconds when I was like, listen, all the rich do is they have appreciating assets like stocks or real estate, and they borrow against them, and the interest rate is lower than their expected rate of return, and you don't have to pay taxes on borrowed money. And as the assets appreciate, they refinance those debts. So they pay them off, and then they get a slightly bigger loan, and then they have another $1 million to spend. And they never, ever have to sell the asset. They get to enjoy appreciation, get to spend and live lavishly, and never have to pay taxes. That's called buy, borrow, die. But he screamed that that's not real. So when I understood, I mean, not knowing things is one thing, but yelling that things don't exist because you don't know about them because you're stupid, that's when I lost all respect for him. I was like, oh, you're just a dummy. You're just a dummy. I don't expect you to know everything. Okay? I don't know everything. You don't know everything. Nobody possibly can know everything. If you ask me what's the best way to treat ovarian cancer, I don't know because I didn't go to med school. I could come up with some bullshit arguments that sound really good. You know, I think the primary way of treating ovarian cancer would probably be a gonadectomy. And to get clean margins, you probably want to do a hysterectomy as well and remove the fallopian tubes. While at the same time, targeting the area, if clean margins are assured, you probably want to target the area with radiation and palliative chemotherapy, looking for metastases. Now, does that sound smart? Yeah, wow. Oh, I bet you that even was medically relevant. But guess what? I'm not a doctor. That was bullshit. The difference is when you don't know anything about medicine, A bullshit artist and a doctor sound the same.
Bro.
It was in your video. It was in your video. I was wrong about Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And you said people are acting like Kiev's getting bombed. Like that would never happen. And then it's literally did happen.
Okay.
So you're just again making more base. You're making your apology video about being wrong and making baseless claims that you know nothing about.
This is your take.
Wrong. It's a pattern of behavior.
This is your take from February 22nd, 2022.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was
again. You've done it since then.
I've done it since then. People are acting like Kiev's getting bombed. It did happen. You're right about that.
Did, I also.
Do you think that I didn't cover? Wait, hold on. Do you think that I didn't cover Kiev getting bombed? Like I hid that or something?
No, you did, but it's your accusation saying it doesn't, saying it won't happen. There's no way it'll happen.
Yeah. Do you think that bombing Kiev specifically, it was what Russia did? Do you think that that was a good thing for Russia to do?
I didn't say. Do
you have any genuine opinions?
Can someone show me this clip? By the way, you and Hasan were 100% correct about the Nord Stream pipeline. Yeah, we said it was Ukraine that did it, not Russia. Turns out we were right. I guess we're super genius now. A senior Ukrainian military officer with deep ties to the country's intelligence service played a central role in the bombing of the Nord Stream natural gas pipeline last year, according to officials in Ukraine and elsewhere in Europe. It was a 6-person team that rented a sailboat under false identities and used deep sea. Hey, that sounds awfully familiar. Wasn't that the report last year basically said that that's what happened? To be fair, you said it was the US. When I said it was the US, I include the United States as proxies as well. You know, like, yeah. The US's proxies also count as the US doing it. Hirsch had his head up his ass. Did he? Did he get it wrong? I'd have to go back and look. But it seems like the central thrust of his argument was correct. Let me see if I can find it. Seymour Hersh accuses U.S. of cover-up over Nord Stream sabotage. He said that White House, in collaboration with Olaf Scholz, has attempted to cover up its operation by feeding false narratives to the press, most prominently the New York Times. Hirsch, who famously exposed U.S. forces' massacre of Vietnamese civilians in My Lai and the torture of detainees at Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, forcefully hit back at the Biden administration on Wednesday and criticized the American press for failing to push the White House on the September attack. On March 7th, nearly a month after Hirsch published his report, the New York Times ran a story, also based on anonymous sourcing, alleging that new intelligence recovered by U.S. officials indicates a pro-Ukrainian group carried out the attack. The Ukrainian government has denied any involvement in the attack. It turns out that was a lie, huh? The same day the Times published its story, the German weekly newspaper Die Zeit ran a report alleging that German investigators succeeded in identifying the boat that was allegedly used for a secret operation to sabotage the Nord Stream pipelines. It is said to be a yacht rented from a company based in Poland, apparently owned by 2 Ukrainians. So, like, the idea that the United States of America, excuse me, did not have its proxy cutout attack the pipeline. I don't know what is scarier. The idea that Ukraine did it on their own without any U.S. involvement, or the U.S. is covering it up and you're supposed to believe it was Russia.
It was a good thing.
Do you have any genuine opinions about
my opinion
Russia's
is that was
involvement
bad.
in the Ukraine?
My opinion on that is that you shouldn't be talking about shit.
Brother,
you know
hold up. We're having a conversation about Ukraine and Russia. We're having a conversation about Ukraine and Russia, and I'm asking you a specific question.
You shouldn't have a conversation about something you know nothing about. Well, that wouldn't include Ukraine then, would it? Bringing in subject matter experts, reviewing subject matter experts, reviewing journalists, reviewing academics, reviewing news reports is what political analysis is. Now, obviously, you have areas of expertise where your knowledge is stronger and you're more robust, and you can add your own additional interpretation and have more validity rather than just your opinion. But opinion is opinion. Like, what are you talking about, man?
I'm asking you a specific question.
My conversation's about you because my videos are about you and your pattern of behavior and your poor reporting. And now you're trying to shift it all these other ways because you know you can't face the truth.
Russia had not bombed Kiev at the time. That's number one. Number two, of course, as soon as that did happen, I covered it. Of course I did, because that's what I'm doing.
The criticism isn't that you didn't cover it. The criticism is that you're making baseless claims you don't know anything about, talking so confidently as if you got a whole fucking research team behind you. When you don't, you're talking out your ass. This is the
brother. Do you have a whole research team behind you? Because you're not
me. I actually did research just now, and you could barely be patient enough to sit there and listen through it. You had to go ahead and
it's a video. You made a video a year ago about me talking about.
This guy's 46. Oh my lord! Chad, who said he's 46? I'm fairly certain he's 25. I mean, either way, he's too stupid for however old he is.
About my opinion on Russia and Ukraine. You personally do not have an opinion on Russia or Ukraine at all. I have taken accountability on I've taken accountability on the things that I've reported wrong.
You should do the research. If I'm not willing to talk
I have taken accountability on the.
So his assertion is you should never make predictions about the future if you ever get anything wrong. Is that right? Is that right? Is that his actual opinion?
Things that I have reported wrong on
wars when you can't do the
Willie No Script. Listen to me. I've taken accountability on the things that I have said that are incorrect. Of course, on the editorial perspective, on the editorial side of my coverage, okay, on the editorial side of my coverage, if I make a prediction or a speculation, it can sometimes be wrong. That speculation is always going to be on foundational analysis that is solid.
I got another one too. Hey, I got just more examples.
Do you have an issue with do you have an issue with my analysis of the situation? Because I can't possibly do research on things that haven't happened yet. I can simply speculate.
Just make it up.
And this entire Do you think when I say, guys, I don't think that Russia will bomb Kyiv is actually, in your opinion, like me making up something? Or do you think it's speculation?
No, the clip is actually you talking really condescendingly about people who think that could happen. That's the clip.
Okay, but yeah, okay. You don't, so is this all just tone policing? Is that what it is?
You're talking about.
Is this all? So all of this is just you personally tone policing the way I'm covering the fucking news?
Policing. It's about your.
Do you have any genuine interest or any curiosity in like Russia and Ukraine at all, or is all you do fucking drama farming off of clips? Because over the course of this entire conflict, I've dedicated tens or hundreds of hours into my coverage, and the analysis in and of itself comes from a solid foundation. Now, the predictions might be wrong, and it certainly was, which is something that I took accountability for, even though you said I had not. So here's my question to you.
You then just did the same mistake again. You did the same criticism again.
Did you look into, okay, what sources I was looking at and where I was getting this opinion from?
Yeah,
because
there were sources
beyond just like looking at looking at YouTube clips and regurgitating talking points, specifically that you've heard from other like neoliberal commentators and whatsoever. Neoliberal commentators is the same fucking 5 clips that you are going to present here.
You think Destiny's secretly behind this? Is this what you're crying about right now? Is this why you keep saying random shit?
Does it sound like I'm
it does. You just said, yeah, it does. You're talking about stuff that doesn't matter.
Brother,
you're trying to shift the goalpost away from the criticism, which is your poor reporting. You bring me.
I think one of the things that's really funny is like, I could just search Destiny Hillary. Destiny makes a bet $30 that Hillary will win. Welsh is on bet. Suppresses request to honor wager. Oops. 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 Here, let me show it to you again. I guess Destiny could never talk about anything ever again. He's so bad at predictions. I guess he's so bad at predictions. He's going to be making this video. He thought Hillary was going to win, that fucking idiot. Oh, God, he should never be allowed to talk about politics again. Oops. He literally says Hasan is dude bro politics. Incredible. There's something that some people... Okay, let's talk about the squirrely little nerd. As a member of this esteemed group of men, there's a certain type of man whose masculinity he puts into his intellect. And he goes, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. That's why I'm better than you. But the thing is, how smart you are has nothing to do with how you look or your personality or how strong you are. It's an independent variable. Hasan being good looking and tall doesn't mean he's dumber than you. This isn't an RPG where we have a certain amount of points that we put into different slots. You aren't playing a new character in Fallout 3, buddy. This is human beings. And some people are just taller, better looking, and smarter than you. That's Hasan. Now, Hasan also has something known as humility, where he plays down the fact that he completed a college degree at Rutgers. He didn't drop out at after a couple of years because the music degree was too hard. All right? So, there's a difference, okay?
On to debate, you let me pick the debate topic, and now you won't engage. Okay. It's incredibly frustrating.
The debate topic is Hasan has been wrong about things over the course of years of streaming, and therefore that means he should never speak again. That does not apply to anyone else, however. blink, blink, blink.
Frustrating.
I am
really
trying to engage with you. I am trying to engage with you. I'm trying to engage with you. I'm trying to engage with you in good faith as best as I possibly can. And all you've done so far is go through your YouTube video to be like, well, you said Kiev wasn't being bombed, and actually it wasn't at the time, but then it got bombed afterwards. Listen, let me finish. Okay, I'm going to mute you if you don't let me finish. Okay?
Go for it.
You said Kiev wasn't being bombed. At the time, it wasn't. Okay? And then you said, okay, well, guess what? Guess what, dude? Your tone was off. Okay, well, my tone was off. You don't like it, but you haven't brought up, I was being condescending. You haven't brought up the actual research or the actual analysis that led to these conclusions. Part of the reason why you haven't done that is because you have no idea what these sources are.
Since you're just talking in circles on this, can I just go to the next one?
I'm not talking in circles on this whatsoever, but go ahead. Let's talk about the next point.
The next one.
But for the record, I am not clairvoyant. I cannot predict the future. I cannot predict the future.
No, I know.
I just want to point that out.
But it's you talking on breaking news, like you know what the fuck's gonna happen, and you don't. You're talking completely out of line. So
hold up.
Can I just go to the next point?
Hold up. My speculation on what may happen, okay, in the future, is not always going to be correct. Everybody understands this.
It's usually wrong, yeah.
It's usually wrong? The only example you brought over...
You said the CIA is why Iran bombed the U.S. base, bro.
Do you know how many... Do you know how many hours...
Protesters are taking down pictures of Israelis is because it's a psyop to make Palestinians look bad.
Wait, hold on. What base are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about with the Iranian thing. What?
Iran struck a U.S. base. And then you said it's the CIA. No shot. It's the CIA. Complete because you're like, oh, there's a nuclear deal. Why would Iran do that? No way. No shot. 100% confidence. Iran then takes credit for it, and then you cope, mold, and seethe to your audience.
Wait, I'm so...
I know you don't know because you use so much bullshit all the time. You can't even remember.
Perhaps the reason for why you are maybe the reason why I'm confused and the reason why you're a little bit confused on this is because in every single circumstance, that every single thing that you've brought up, there's almost always a correction that comes after the fact. You, on the other hand, do not see the correction, or you, on the other hand, see the 30 second to 2 minute videos, which is enough for you to try and develop a consistent narrative.
This is from your whole live stream, by the way. I'm watching everything in context. This is cope from you saying that this is out of context. It's the same shit Andrew Tate does and the Red Pillars do to me, claiming everything's out of context when it's not. That was your opinion at the time. You said those words. They came out of your own mouth. Go do the research.
Can I ask you something?
All right, okay. I mean, all I can say is I have no idea what the context is of this. And again, this is one of the most meaningless things I've ever seen. If I made a compilation video of every time that any commentator was wrong about something, I could make a video with dozens of examples. It's part of being a commentary. Doing commentary is sometimes you're going to have situations arise that have where your analysis is not correct. Usually it's because of factors that were not in evidence. That's why the future is unknowable. All we could do is try to make predictions and shape the evidence and shape the facts and shape the logic to our preferred outcome. Sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. And if we're talking about conflict between the Iran and the United States of America couped the Iranian government. The United States of America supported a dictatorship with secret police in Iran for decades. And the United States has engaged in hostile actions both internally and externally to Iran for going on 50 years now. So when you were talking about the United States and its approach to Iran, it is one of a hostile power. If you think that's a bad policy, you probably oppose what America is doing. This guy makes no original content. He doesn't know how this space works. He makes clip, chip, drama content. I mean, it's boring. It's legitimately boring.
Something? Can I ask you something really quickly? Okay. One.
Mm-hmm.
This is important for you to comprehend.
I'm sure.
Do you think that over the course of thousands of hours of coverage, okay, thousands of hours of coverage, especially when something is like being immediately brought to my attention, okay, immediately brought to my attention, which I don't even know what you're talking about, but
I know.
Really, I don't remember what you're talking about. But over the course of thousands of hours of coverage, when I, for example, read something in the chat and respond to it, okay, do you think that this is like reporting, or do you think that I'm giving like immediate commentary?
Breaking news you cover. This isn't a random chat comment. This is breaking news that's happening.
Okay.
I think what most people, you should do what most people do and wait for the story to be out there before you start spurging out, making wild accusations. Here, can I go to the next one?
You need to limit your, TOS worthy takes here. This isn't fucking YouTube or whatever.
What is my what TOS did I break?
You can't use unfortunately, I know, and I used to do this in the past as well. You can't use ableist language, but go on.
Oh, like the R word. I got you. My bad. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad that you're a fan though.
Well, yeah, I don't. This is both. This is your job. I don't want to. Ruin that. So, for instance, like the missile hit the Gaza hospital, both sides blamed each other. That's the breaking news, right? And instead of waiting for more information, you jump to conclusions saying it was 100% Israel. 100%.
Okay.
We're so confident.
Good point.
Like all the chatters.
Good point. Can I ask you a question?
Can I go through the whole thing before you go?
No. Hold on. This is important. This is important. No, we're not jumping. We're talking about this. Okay. We're talking about this specific thing. Finally, now we're talking about Israel and Palestine. When I said that, I didn't just go, oh, I have no other opinion on this matter. I simply think Israel definitely did this because I want Israel to have definitely done this. The reason why I said this, and you do this regularly, okay? When I say something on this stream, okay, oftentimes, especially if it's a developing story.
How do you know I say this stuff?
Especially if it's a developing story, when I say something on an issue that is happening, I look to all of the circumstantial evidence on the matter, and I look to everything else that is going on thus far. Now, we're two adult individuals here. Do you think it is unfair to say Israel blew up the hospital, like Israel bombed the hospital?
I think when there's a claim like that, you wait for information. Right? I mean, there's a million things.
The information is that there was.
Can I respond? There's a million things to criticize the IDF.
Okay, so what's very fascinating is the IDF is putting out nonstop lies and then they delete them after they get definitively disproven. And for example, off the top of my head, 40 beheaded babies. That was a lie that spread wildly over the internet. The idea of mass rapes. The idea that there was a nurse who is in the Al-Shifa hospital saying that Hamas is stealing all their resources. That turned out to be an Israeli actress. They have said they went from, we never bombed the hospital. They're actively attacking a hospital right now. They've bombed dozens of hospitals since this incident. And by the way, the evidence is this actually, more likely than not, was an Israeli attack. The evidence that Israel put out that it was a misfired rocket was definitively debunked by the New York Times. So you're bringing up a story where Hasan's from the hip analysis is probably going to bear out to be true. Now, we all get a little bit emotional when a bomb goes off at a hospital, and a mistranslation from Arabic to English, it was initially 500 casualties, meaning wounded or killed. People mistranslated 500 casualties to 500 deaths. That was initially reported. And based on the that reporting, we know that there isn't any force, any weapon within the arsenal of Hamas that could have done that much damage. And it turns out that there weren't 500 people. So we were operating under misreporting that was being repeated by all major accredited news organizations. So that analysis was wrong because that initial report from those accredited news agencies were wrong. And when we walked it back, I said, why did I think it had to be Israel 100%? The body count was too large to be a Hamas rocket. Turns out that body count was wrong because of a mistranslation, not Hamas lies. And then we said, nonetheless, we should wait for definitive confirmation. And what is happening? The evidence is showing that it was actually an Israeli strike. And you know what? It's now irrelevant because Israel is bombing ambulances. Israel is bombing civilians. Israel is bombing hospitals. Israel is bombing water treatment plants and bakeries. They are openly saying we want this to be a Nakba Part 2. Government officials are calling for the deportation of the entire Gaza population to Egypt. They're already openly talking about their intent to do a genocide and ethnic cleansing. So the fact about this one incident being misreported for less than a day and then immediately corrected by me and Hasan, and it turns out that the long-term evidence is swinging back into the idea that Israel was responsible for that strike. But they don't give a fuck about the actual facts of what's happening in Gaza. They're just trying to find any excuse to undermine our credibility because we oppose the American war machine, because we are popular, because there are leftists on Twitch, and I'm not just talking about myself and Hasan. I'm talking about leftists on TikTok. I'm talking about leftists on Twitch. Me, Caroline, Hasan, many others. Because the non-IDF American State Department narrative is not the only one that's being carried now. So you have to attack us by any means necessary and hold us to standards that you don't hold for anyone else. Not the IDF's official spokesperson. They're lying left and right. Not the State Department. They're lying left and right. Joe Biden said all sorts of shit that got walked back. Is Joe Biden never to be trusted? Should Joe Biden never talk about breaking news? You fucking idiot. Why do you have higher standards for Twitch streamers covering commentary who make every effort to be truthful than you do for Joe Biden and Netanyahu, who are killing thousands of people, you fucking rat? And the answer is because he doesn't care about news. Because he doesn't care about the truth. Because he doesn't care about politics. He's a pathetic loser with no knowledge, no skills, no ability to make their own way, who is attempting to draft off of Hasan's ideological haters. And it's not going to make you a career, bozo. Good luck. Good luck. So if you enjoy this type of content, if you support this type of content, if you want to see leftists actually pushing back on the narrative, and let me tell you something, chat, it's working. It's fucking working. Democratic staffers are saying how they are going to quit because of this genocide. There's a dissent State Department cable of hundreds of State Department professionals telling Biden he's doing the wrong shit. There is senior level people at the State Department, the senior weapons sales official of the State Department quit. UN head for human rights quit. You have leaders in Belgium, you have leaders in Brazil, you have leaders in Colombia, you have leaders in Belize, you have leaders in Ireland, you have leaders in Belgium. People are speaking up and declaring that Israel is doing a genocide. We have a majority of Americans supporting a ceasefire. So giving weapons to Israel is down in the 30%, 32%. They know it's working. They know that places like this, places like Hasan's, places like Caroline's stream, places, all the TikTokers, Democracy Now!, alternative media is having an impression on our generation. And we are going around the corporate media. We're going around the State Department's lies for the American hegemonic power. And we are trying to push us to a better world. an actual international rules-based order where Israel has to play by the rules, where the United States has to play by the rules, where we don't get to do 5 genocides. Leaked donor call from Panic Director of the ADL where he says Israel has a major generational problem. The targeting of activists, threats to people's jobs, the weaponizing of anti-Semitism all come from Panic. They aren't working. I don't know if this is, I don't know how reliable this is. That's just a tweet. I agree with the tweet. I don't know about whether or not the facts are true. All I can say is if you want this type of content to succeed, then you've got to subscribe and you have to support it. That's the only way. Is if you and people who enjoy this content, who want it to succeed, you support it. That means subscribing. That means if you have Amazon Prime, attach that to your Twitch account, you get 1 free sub a month. Give me that shit. You got to support the stream by giving bits. You have to directly donate. I want you to support the streams and the content creators and the journalists that are going around it. Become a member of The Intercept. Become a member of Democracy Now! Support my stream. Those are the ways that we're actually changing the narrative. We're changing the game. The other thing I want to mention to you, chat, is that you can also support other members of our community by giving gifted subscriptions. Gifted subscriptions allow people in our community that can't afford to subscribe to see the entire stream without it being interrupted by ads. So, because as long as I'm able to, I'm not going to allow subscribers to see ads. So when you give subs to this stream, when you support this stream, you are helping introduce new people to left-wing politics. You are helping the stream grow. It boosts us in the algorithm on Twitch. Whenever you're in a hype train, you get boosted to the algorithm. Whenever you have a large number of interactive chatters using your emotes, supporting your stream with gifted subs, subscribing themselves, giving bits, donating, that stuff results in the stream growing. Can you tell me if Breaking Points on YouTube is a leftist channel? Is that Crystal Balls stuff? Is that Crystal Ball? Crystal is what I would call a syncretic progressive who bought in the idea that there's this like left-right populist wave. And it's bullshit. You'll never work with the populist right. They're fascists. The idea that we're going to work with, some sort of populist right winger, they don't agree with anything. They love Wall Street. They love capitalists. They love Israel. They don't give a shit about human rights. They don't give a shit about free speech. The populist right is fascist. The idea that, oh yeah, there's a populist left and a populist right, and we could work together to get the elites. No, that's not going to happen. But I do think her personal politics are good in most circumstances. I am an ideological leftist. Okay, I mean, is there another clip in this that I need to see? Because this is very boring. Is there any like good clip that I need to see where there's like something that's actually funny? The only real highlight, he tries to drive a wedge into the whole Hasan Ethan thing. I mean, you could obviously see. This is why, like, here's how I look at Ethan. Ethan is in a long-term growth period. And he's well behind in his personal growth where events have taken us. He's not ready to completely abandon a lot of what is core to his identity relating to conflict. But he's being pushed. And I think if you have a longer term view, it's beneficial to have the largest platform available for ideas possible. You can't, there's a large section of politics in America called progressive except Palestine. That's not an acceptable position to take during a genocide.
I'm giving you what I have said. Pointed to that is
when it's breaking.
To be like sit through every. I can't believe I made Felix sit through this. Okay.
Could I ask a question?
Oh, my guest has a question for you.
All right, let's
go ahead.
Don't you think it's weird how like Anne Hathaway like isn't Jewish? I just found that out like last year.
I don't fucking know, bro.
Doesn't she like kind of like look like Jewish? I always thought that. I was like, let's go. That's one of ours. But apparently she isn't. She's
Are
like
you
the
Jewish?
opposite. Yeah.
Nice. Shalom.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
I was about to say Willie Mac.
I'm just a Midwest
that name
dick,
isn't in the
bro.
Bible.
Yeah. All right, take it easy, man.
Felix, do you have any questions for Willie Mac?
That was the question.
That's it?
Yeah.
No,
I just found out about the Anne Hathaway thing like this year.
It's breaking news. I'm sure Hasan's looking into it.
Willie Mac, thank you so much for your ethics in video game journalism or your ethics in conflict reporting.
Thanks for coping by just saying stuff's out of context without
Okay,
showing
yeah,
it
you
at
got
all.
me, dude. You fucking owe me. Okay, thanks for
Yeah.
coping, he says. All right, Jesus Christ.
What a 5-year-old brainlet. Like, literally. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's what you need to remind yourself that, like, don't promote the tumors.